This episode is brought to you by Americas Rehab Campus. Get on the road to recovery with the best rehab in beautiful Arizona. Dial 1-833-272-7342. That's 1-833-ARC-REHAB.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned in to the ARCast.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the ARCast. My name is Buddha, and I'm solo dolo today. We in the studio, though, with somebody who just fills the room up with positive love and energy, man, and I'm so blessed to have this gentleman here. Before we go into the episode, I just kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up, man. This gentleman that we have here has been a huge influence in my life at different stages of my life, and he continues to keep amazing me. He's doing his own thing now. He's an author. He's got his own podcast. Motivation all day, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, give a huge round of applause to our friend, John Bacon. What is going on, bro? How you doing?
Family? How you doing, man? How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing so good, bro. I was like a little kid on Christmas excited for you to come through.
Bro, you know I get excited every time I see you, brother. You are an inspiration to me.
Dude, man, it's crazy. Like, you know, we started this journey a little over a year ago, and we started doing the scheduling and stuff, and I feel like now we kind of got our feet a little bit, you know, more comfortable, right? More acclimated.
Definitely.
And now that I feel like it's up to par to that level, I'm like, man, we got to get some people in here that I know that are just doing their thing, that are changing lives on a daily basis, man. So it's like, thank you so much for coming. I'm excited.
Man, this is a privilege and an honor, brother.
My boy's here, dude. So
this is exciting, brother.
Yeah, man, for sure. So what you been up to?
Man, life has been really good, really good, really good. As you know, I just got off the phone with my son. He's playing basketball over in Greece. So we got a chance to fly over. I had my first over-the-water fly in March to go see a couple of his games. And then just last week and a half ago, I just did a youth conference for young men. It was called Young Men Symposium that was supported by Good Brothers Foundation and Jimmy Hart Foundation. And we got a chance to administer to over 90 young men.
Wow.
Them from the 8th grade to 12th grade to speak life into their lives. Got a book signing on the 7th of June. And then we got a men's conference in July. So, man, life is good, man.
You're just grinding it out.
I'm
That's
loving
amazing,
it,
man. I mean, it's for me, just to kind of give you a little bit of perspective of the role that you play in my life, man. Like, you know, growing up, I never really knew, well, I kind of knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know the steps to take it, right? And I remember at this time in my life, I had just out of high school, you know, still causing trouble, still doing my thing. And I started working at St. Mary's Hospital, bro. And that's where we first met.
Yes,
you were working on the psych unit at the time, and I was in housekeeping. And I just remember it was just different. You know, you had techs there, you had nurses and people there, but your energy was just different, bro. The way that you kept this like calm feeling throughout the whole place, and nobody ever disrespected, at least that I didn't see. You know, everyone was very loving and caring for you, and you always were singing and in a good mood. Like, how did you even get into this field, bro?
Bro, it was crazy, man, because I had just came here from Flint, Michigan, worked at a fast food restaurant for a couple of years. Then I worked in with developmentally disabled. We say people that are on the spectrum now, for 18 years. And I love that. And I was like, but man, I got to transition to something a little bit more my style. And then got a chance. David Hughes, may you rest in peace. That was brother that introduced me into psych, man. I fell in love with it. So it was super. It was like almost like an elevation from working with people on the spectrum to psych. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You said Michigan. I have all these different thoughts that go into my head. The first one is this how we doing it from the non-deuce. Another fat track. Dude, I always think every time I hear that song, bro, I think about you. The Paperboy Diddy, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up. But no, that's cool, bro. And I mean, I feel like you're a perfect example of one of those people, you know, when you hear people say like, you know, God has a plan for them.
Yes, brother.
I mean, it's like God made you and created you specifically to be this like powerhouse, like in this area, bro, like full of mental health. Because I mean, you were here at ARC for a long time working here.
Yes, sir. 4
years. And you brought the faith aspect in here, your energy. I mean, it's never changed. You've just been like a powerhouse when it comes to motivation, man, and it's inspiring.
And I have to give God all the credit, man. My Lord and Savior, bro.
Amen.
When he gave us a gift, it says in Romans 11:29, it says the gifts and the calling are without repentance. So that means God gifted you from the day you was born. And I think a lot of people don't know that, whether you believe in Jesus or not. I firmly believe that everybody on this planet is gifted, but it's discovering what your gift is. That's where the work comes into play. And the thing that was so amazing to me is I always tell people, I said, man, God has placed me in a spot that if the world has given up on you. So I worked with people on the spectrum, people with autism, Down syndrome. I worked in psych, bipolar, schizophrenic. Now I'm working in alcohol and drugs. It's like when it feel like the world has given up on you, God says, all right, them is my people, right? I say, yes, Lord, I know they're your people, and that's where I want you to be at. And all I want you to do, if you just can remember this one thing, son, I just need you to love them. That's it. I don't try to figure out. You can't fix them. I'm gonna fix them. But son, all I need you to do is love them. And if you can get past trying to understand, some people's dispositions or whatever, and just love them, everything is gonna fall into place. And people, if we can get them 4 letters right, Buddha, I swear up and down, I wish people would get that. If you get the LOVE right, I mean, life is sweet, but we complicate it though.
Yeah, that's real.
I firmly believe that.
No, you're absolutely right. And I mean, I've been trying lately to get more deeper in the word, right? And like, God, please write these scriptures on my heart type of thing. Because it was something I never really focused on, was meditating on it. And listening, just hearing one scripture in particular, they say it at all the weddings, bro. It's love conquers all things. Not some things.
Come on, bro.
Love conquers all things. All. You know what I mean? And man, that's incredible. So, going back a little bit to when you said that this was a gift that, that you had to find out that this was the gift that God had given you. Yeah. When did that start for you?
Bro, it didn't start till 30.
30 years old, for real?
Late, man. Yeah, because I was out there, I'm being honest with y'all, 21 to 24. So this is all the ingredients to foolishness. I'm just telling y'all the truth. So just had moved here from Flint, Michigan. Because I had, I believed in the old school, you ain't no man until you move out your mama's house.
Why'd you move here? So, just real quick.
Because I wanted to be close to LA. Because I had an itch to want to sing, bro.
I feel you.
Oh my God. But I knew if I was in LA, I was going to be coked up and I was going to have about 15 different baby mamas. So I knew that, so I said, all right, Tucson is close enough where you could just, guess what, go on to LA real quick, do what you got to do, and then bring your tail back here, And then we had my best friend's brother was here in the Air Force. So we stayed with him, and that move right there for me from Flint, Michigan to Tucson was the greatest move I could ever made, bro.
That's cool.
Greatest move I could ever made. So I had moved out here. My dad died 20 days after I moved out here. I moved out here and officially hit Tucson August the 11th. He died August the 31st of that same year. And we were at our closest when he died, but I still had a lot of issues when he died. And then I had moved out here with the mindset that I was going to sleep with as many women as I could possibly can. And I'm going to party as hard as I possibly can. So that was an excuse even more when he passed away. Those just unmet needs. When you don't hear, from your dad, I love you, I'm proud of you, this is my son, and claim you. You got some issues that you're dealing with. So you're trying to fit in with everybody and anybody. And so you're going to do whatever you got to do to fit in that crowd. So from 21 to 24, cocaine and alcohol was my thing. And then at 24, I just looked in the mirror, and I know this is one of the hardest things for people that are trying to get their lives clean. That one of the hardest things you could ever do is look in the mirror. I mean, literally, that's just to look in the mirror and look at yourself. And you know what you're looking at, but you know damn well that ain't what you are. Or is, however they say it
Yeah.
And when they finally think about it, like, man, if I can get back to falling in love with myself or loving myself for the first time, after that, everything else is going to fall into place. But that from 21 to 24, man, I was out there wilding, doing my thing, from club to club, trying to sleep with as many women as I can. And it got back to, John, this ain't you, bro. You want to be, you want to love one woman. You wanted to be outstanding young man, but the way I was living was foul. It was just, it is what it is.
So, and that's incredible, man. And it makes me think of other questions too. Cause like for me, for example, I'm not in recovery from substances, right? But I got into this field because of my father.
Right.
Even without him really playing like that role of like, hey, you should get into this field. Like, but I learned a lot from my dad to the point where it's like, I know that there's generational curses in families. There's situations like that, and there's so many people who are unaware of, how the enemy works. There's so many people who are unaware of addiction and how it can affect family members and things like that. So what did that play a part, that relationship with your dad of wanting to get into this field? Cause it was
real big, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes I don't even look at the clients that come into any programming, whether it's here or at the place where I currently work at Buena Vista. It was always, I want to help them be the best they can be for their kids. Because as a child of an alcoholic, you know the pain that you feel when your dad or your mom is not there. They make promises to you that they're gonna be there, and they ain't there, and you don't get that love, support, that nurturing that you need. Makes a big void in your life, and that's where I know I'll be like, Lord, I just need to get these people back. I want them to be the best they can be, but I'll be always constantly thinking about their kids.
Wow, that's incredible, man. And how old were you when you had your first babies?
First babies, man, I was 24 when I had, 20, going back, boy. 23 when I had my baby girl.
Okay.
And me and her just did a podcast. It's going to come on June the 10th on Bacon Bits. And it's a father-daughter podcast. And we just had the tissue box right there and just
oh, man.
The whole episode, brother.
Woo.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So you moved down here, and then you said this was the most amazing thing that happened to you.
Yeah.
Did you start working with St. Mary's right away, or was that around?
St. Mary's was actually, St. Mary's was almost 20 years after I got out here.
Oh, wow.
I worked in a fast food for 3 years, and then right before I quit that job, I started working with the developmentally disabled.
Okay.
And they were a tremendous blessing to me because they taught me patience, they taught me love, they taught me to appreciate the small things in life. I really learned a lot, man, from the clients that I worked with when I worked in that field.
That's cool, man. And then even to the point, like at the hospital, it's like, I remember you singing all the time. I remember you, and for those who don't know, man, this dude's got a beautiful voice, and that's not even the front, like beautiful voice. But it almost seems like now that I know you, especially from the John that I knew here at ARC, right? I don't think you were fully into who God wanted you to be even back then, even though it seemed like you fit so perfectly in that puzzle. Yeah. Right. So it's like as you continued, you just have such an array of like different talents and stuff too, man. Like, when did you really feel like you got that more? Like, when did you really feel like you had discovered who God had made you, like, to do, what you're doing now?
Yeah, I would definitely say 30, man, because I had went through, right in my 30s, I went through anger management classes.
Okay.
And that opened up the doors for a lot of things to see the deficiencies in my own life. And it was during that time that I had fooled around and asked God, God, I really believe my calling and my gifting is to teach.
Okay.
And I always tell people, I said, I believe in my heart, there's 3 questions you should ask yourself when you're trying to discover what that thing is that God gave you the gift to do. And number 1 is, and I always use analogies because analogies just help me think.
Parables.
You tell me anything in analogy, bro, I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
And so I always ask people, I said, have you ever seen an apple tree eat apples? And they'll say no. And I say, when you use your gift of what God has given you to do, is to share yourself with other people. Because that's what an apple tree does. It takes the apples, you take the apples and feed anybody with them. And God, when he gives you your gift is to serve people. If you know that up front, you're going to be good with it. It's to serve people. Even if you like make stereo equipment, if you make computers, you make phones, you making the phone and it makes you happy that you created that phone or that stereo equipment, whatever it is. But it's ended up going to being serving of somebody else, of a human being.
Wow.
So that's number 1. Number 2, the gift to you should come naturally. You should not struggle to do what it is that God gave you the gift to do.
Amen.
So I'm real big on that. So if you put a car in front of me, bro, and you tell me to fix that car, it ain't never getting fixed, bro. You can forget that. Bro, man, don't fix cars. I hate fixing cars, man.
Yeah.
You put a phone in front of me, you be like, John, I need you to program this phone. I'm going to get that phone to my 15-year-old daughter and tell her to program my phone for me. But if you tell me to stand in front of 10,000 people and open my mouth,
oh yeah,
that's a cinch.
I was going to say 20,000, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, I already know that,
bro.
Have this, John, here's 20,000 people, bro. Get them motivated to want to change their life. It's going to happen.
I believe in that. I'm believing God for that too, bro.
That's amazing.
Believe in it.
I'm curious. This is just a little bit like off topic, but we could take in and put whatever, But do you ever feel, like being an extrovert in your daily life? Do you have introverted like parts of you too that you deal with? I'm curious because I do, and I think it's weird, bro. You know what I'm saying?
No, because that's the reason why I really feel in my heart I wrote The Balanced Life. It's because like my wife knows this, and I've been like this, man. I can't even. It's been like at least 30 plus years. I need the first 2 hours of the day to myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't pour out to people when I haven't poured into myself.
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm real big on, man, spending the first hour reading my word, praying. I'm gonna look at some motivational videos, get super excited, and then I'm gonna take the next hour, take care of my body. I'm gonna work out, do some stretching, and then after you give me those first 2 hours, bro, I'll be with the rest of the world for the rest of the day.
You good.
But I need to charge my battery so I can charge other people's batteries.
Okay.
So yeah, as an extrovert, yeah, that's the best use, bro, that you get your introvert moments, though.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure. I think it's such a weird thing, man, because it's like, we're around people all the time, even before the podcast, just being in there doing groups, talking to people. And I mean, you have and we're going to talk about faith and everything too.
Yeah,
but I mean, you would do the church on Sundays, all the other groups talking about everything, and it's just like, man, I wonder if John has like an off switch. If he goes home, he's just like, yo, I need to shut everything down for a second,
Yeah.
But no, that's good, man. And I know I wanted to bring this up. I'm going to make sure that we put the links on the show notes because I want you guys to check this out. This is amazing. I actually have 2 copies with me right now. This is the first book that John he's the author of. It's called The Balanced Life. And it's a palm. I'm gonna put this on the Instagram and stuff so you guys can see it, but it's a palm, and on the inside of the palm it says the kingdom of God. And there's 5 principles: financial, relationships, physical, mental, and spiritual that you talk about.
Yes. Sir.
What was the motivation behind this book, bro?
So I was always intrigued because I grew up in that generation where every man, whatever he did as a job, was his identity.
Yes.
And that used to mess me up because I was always like, and this was even back then, I would be like, the person will introduce themselves, so you'll say Buddha and you're a podcaster. I'd be like, all right, that's cool, bro. But when you ain't podcasting, who are you?
Yeah.
And most brothers couldn't give me no answer. And I was like, bro, but you a father, husband, brother, so we can go into all the different details of the different aspects of yourself. But most people would always define themselves by that job that they have. And I'm like, you way bigger than that, bro, because we live in a generation where now you don't just can bring home the bacon, to your family.
No pun intended.
Bro. Like we used to do back in the day. If the man brought home the money, he was like the man. And I'm like, wait, no, we don't live in that generation no more, bro.
Yeah.
That brother got to learn how to handle the finances. He got to learn how to love his wife and his queen and love the kids and take care of his body, take care of his mind. So you got to have the whole spectrum of everything. So I was like, Lord, I want us to talk about being a whole person.
Yeah.
So, being a whole one, because whether you want to or not, even if you don't want to handle finances, you're going to end up handling finances.
Yeah.
So you might as well be good at it. You ain't got to be great, but you got to be good at it. Relationships, you're going to be with people 90% of your life.
That's real. Yeah.
So since you're going to be with people, you need to learn how to handle relationships. You got to live in your body for the rest of your life. Why wouldn't you take care of that mug, man?
Dude.
That's crazy to me. And then, with all this anxiety and depression that's happening in our world now, bro, if you don't learn how to regulate your mind, you are going to go crazy. And then last but not least, why you here? Why you here? If you don't know your purpose, bro, that'll make you want to go do drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, that's real.
Because you don't know your purpose. Once you know your purpose, bro, I'm telling you won't even need an alarm clock ever again.
Oh, man. All right. So it's funny listening to you talk because we just saw yesterday, my kids and my wife and I, we sat down and we watched that old school movie from the 50s, Old Yeller. Remember that?
Yeah.
And the dad gets on his horse and he dips for 3 months. There's no phone. My kids are watching it like tripping out because they ain't used to seeing it. It's like an older movie, right?
Right.
For a kid born and I told my wife, I said, see, he gets to leave for 3 months and asking no questions. She's like, oh, is that what you want to do? I said, that's just funny. I just thought I'd bring that up because I was thinking about that. But no, man, I mean, going into those 5 principles, you're absolutely right. And the last one that you mentioned, which is on the thumb on this book, and it's the first one, bro, is that spirituality.
Yes, sir.
Having that faith in God. Is that something you've always had, John?
No, bro, because I didn't grow up in a spiritual home. So
really,
my mom technically is Muslim. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But she never, it was real embedded in her not to push your faith off on your kids.
Okay.
So I didn't know nothing of, honestly, our family's, origin or what our beliefs was until after I gave my life to Jesus. Because what happened was a friend of mine I went to college with, man, I'm super grateful for. Matter of fact, I got to go back before that. So my best friend, I am 55 years old. I'll be 56 this year. My best friend of 49 years.
He's the one on the podcast, right? You just had him on about finances?
Yeah.
That was a good episode.
So that brother, man, had been praying for me because his family was, deep into the church and it was beautiful. But bro, back then, if you'd have mentioned Jesus Christ to me, I would have bust you in your mouth.
Wow.
Because I was anti-Jesus. I felt like I was God.
Dude,
and,
that's
and
crazy.
you have
I
to be
can't
scared to
imagine
say, bro, because you feel like this world owes me.
Mm-hmm.
I was so self-consumed. I felt like this world owed
You were eating your own apples, bro.
So what was crazy was had a moment. It's where the music came into.
Okay.
I said, because him and my friend from college, they was both Christians and they love the Lord and they wanted the best for me. God, because once you give your life to the Lord, man, it's one of the most phenomenal things you'll ever do in this life. And they wanted that for me, but I didn't want that for me because I felt like he's going to take control of my life and I want to be, I wanted to be me.
Yeah.
So, bro, I said, God, if you're really real, reveal yourself to me.
Ooh.
And 3 nights later, bro, this is how he revealed himself to me. So I don't like to make people think it's like super spooky and all that. But man, when I woke up in the middle of the night, out of nowhere, wrote some lyrics down, which I didn't even realize I was doing this. Went back to sleep, woke up, wrote some lyrics down, went back to sleep, woke up, wrote some lyrics down. In the morning when I woke up, I had a full song wrote. I knew good and well I didn't know how to write no song at that time. I knew how the song went. The words was beautiful. And I was like, okay, God, you spoke to me in a language that I could understand.
Wow.
Music at that time. Because I always used to tell people, I said, before God was God, music was God in my life. I mean, I used to be able to sit as a baby in front of a TV or a radio, bro. And if it was music on, man, the distance, I know people, if you're not in Tucson, you wouldn't understand this, but you could drive from here to Tucson Mall and come back and I would still be sitting in front of that radio because I was consumed with music, bro. Music. Wow. I loved music and still to this day love music, man.
Wow.
Love it, bro. And it was just that. And then this was the crazy part. So me and my boy moved out here. We left Flint, Michigan, August the 7th. When I got to Dallas, because I kept stopping at different stops to stop at family members' house, so I could spend the night and then drive a little further, stay at a family member's house, drive a little further. So I had just came from St. Louis, drove to my cousin's house in Dallas, but that's when we had payphones. I'd let you know how long ago this was, brother. So I'm calling on the payphone, cuz wouldn't pick up. And I said, well, let me drive a little further. So I drove from Dallas to Fort Worth. And in the process of driving from Dallas to Fort Worth, I fell asleep at the wheel.
Oh, no.
And, brother, it was construction going on. So it was that concrete barrier on one wall, concrete barrier on one wall. And it was a 1-lane highway at the moment. And my best friend who was sitting next to me could see the whole thing and couldn't say nothing. God had him in a trance. And the car was driving itself. And he was like, I could hear God's voice as clear as day. Am I God? And I said, no. We drove past the next exit. All the exits were really close. He said, am I God? I said, no. I drove past about 3 exits before I finally said, yes, you are God. As soon as I said, yes, you are God, I woke up, grabbed the steering wheel, pulled over to the road.
For real,
following Sunday at church, they said, would anybody like to get a life to? Bro, they ain't had to finish the sentence, man. I ran down the aisle, got in front of the pastor and said, yes, I give my life to Jesus, bro. And it's been miraculous ever since, man.
Amen.
He speaks to you in so many different ways. Our job is not to limit him on how he speaks because we want to hear the verbal.
Yeah, we do. But
what usually ends up happening, bro, he going to speak to you in dreams and visions. He going to speak through you through his word. He'll speak to you every now and then where it's like almost like an audible voice. He'll speak to you through other people. And then he'll speak through you through circumstances to let you know he is who he says he is. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts, man.
Dude, we were just having this conversation today. This is why I'm so grateful that you're here because it never fails, bro. You're a shining light, my dude. I was talking to my cousin April, who works here, and we're talking about certain things, shaming. It's awesome because she's a therapist, so we get to kind of chop it up. You know what I mean? It helps me. I hope it helps her. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to April if you're listening. But we're talking about how discernment.
Yeah.
Certain times when God is talking to you, it's really hard. Well, at least for me, I felt through dreams specifically when God has said things in my life and they really change and motivate me.
Yeah,
he saved my marriage, bro. God is amazing.
Come on, bro.
But then there's sometimes where I hear that voice and it's like, I don't know if it's me. I don't know. And instead of me even realizing like, bro, you would know. Right? Even my cousin says, she goes, that's the reason why God came to you in a dream because he knows how stubborn you are. He knows that he has to like smack you upside the head pretty much.
Yeah, we family.
Yeah, dude.
we family, bro.
So it's like, wow, hearing you say that is so true. My heart needed that right now, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, man, it's bro. The story is beautiful. And that's why when me and my best friend, we get together, man, it's just like, so it's been 34 years where I've had acknowledged him as my personal Lord and Savior. And I don't hide it from nobody, man. And that's the thing that's been so phenomenal, Buddha. So when I went to St. Mary's Hospital, I said, God, listen here now. Because, I'll be giving God ultimatums.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in this hospital, and I love talking about you. I said, can you allow me to talk about you as much as I want to when I get there? It's St. Mary's. It's a Catholic hospital. So they're going to let you talk about God. And then when that unit closed down, I had to go get hired over at Palo Verde Hospital. And I said, God, listen here now. I love talking about you. Please let me talk about you as much as I want to when I get to Palo Verde. Bro, how I got the job was, they said, I had said in the interview and was sitting in front of my man, and he said, your resume looks good, bro. He said, tell me something about yourself. He said, I like to do groups. He said, you like to do groups? I said, yeah, I like to do groups on intentional living, hope for change. Bro, you got the job. It took me 1 minute to get a job.
Wow.
Now, when I was at Palo Verde, and right before ARC opened up, ARC had just bought the hotel. Okay. And a week later, came over here. I got invited to come over here. They walked me around the property. They said what was going to happen when I got over here. This was going to be the detox part. This was going to be residential. We want to do IOP over here. And then they showed me a letter and said, John, we would like to invite you to work over here. And I looked at the letter and I'm like, okay, I'm making more money over here than I've ever made, ever. I said, what's the catch? Don't you want to ask some stuff about me? They said, no, we already knew your credentials before we asked you to come over here.
That's what's up.
And I said, well, you already know what's up. I'm going to talk about God when I'm over here. They said, hey, talk about God as much as you want to. So they end up opening up a faith church service type service on Sundays at the ARC. And then when I left here, I went to Buena Vista where I'm at now. And I said, now y'all know when I'm doing groups, I'm going to talk about God. So that's the thing that's so amazing to me about God, bro. Now, this is crazy. I'm telling you, this is crazy. So right now, I currently, and he'll let you know up front, I currently work for an atheist boss.
Okay.
Who told me, John, I'm going to let you do 2 faith-based groups on Sundays.
Oh, man. That's incredible.
When God is in control, bro, he in control. If we let him be in control. Now, see, that's the part that's crazy, because as much as we'll say God totally dominate, I'm like, no, he ain't going to force you to love him. So, because if he was in total control, he would just make us like robots and make us do what he wants us to do. Bro, love ain't love unless you allow me to love you.
That's it.
If you force me to love you, that's different. But if you allow me to love, that's when I really want to love, Dan.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
and I mean,
bro.
It's so true. The let go and let God. I've said it before. It's like, it's a very easy thing to say. But to put it into like actually not worry, to get rid of the distractions. Right. And one of the scriptures that's been, I struggle with anxiety and depression a lot, right? Mm-hmm. One of the scriptures, I haven't been remembering them, and it's been breaking my heart because I can't remember them. I feel like there's something wrong with me, right? For one, God don't give you that. So yesterday I put the scripture on my phone. I have this little like spot where I can put my phone, and I'm getting ready. And it was, and I'm gonna try and do this off the top of my head because I don't ever remember, but this one's good. Don't be anxious for nothing, but through every situation with prayer. Hold on. With prayer. Mm-hmm. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna get it. Don't be anxious for anything, but through every situation with prayer. I forget the other one, and thankfulness.
Yes.
Present all of your worries and cares to God, and He whose understanding transcends all will protect your heart and your brain.
Yes, sir.
You know, sir. And that's like really going back to what you were saying is just like letting go and letting God, because we're not in control. We're not in control. You know, we can't live in the past because that's what did it say in remember in Detox it said living in the past is depressed.
Yeah.
Living in the future is anxiety. So live right here in the moment.
Brother. That's, you just said it right there. That's why we have all this depression, because we so consumed by all the past mistakes that we made.
That's real.
But the scripture says, this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are in my past. So God tells you to let it go. And this is the part that's crazy about our God. Now, you ain't gonna find no scripture that says this, but it's the absolute truth. Y'all understand that the God that we serve has amnesia.
Amnesia.
He got amnesia. Why is that? Because soon as you ask for forgiveness, he forgets it.
That's awesome.
We the ones that keep bringing it up.
That's real.
That's what's wrong with us having these wonderful memories that we got.
Yeah.
We keep bringing it up. But God, as soon as you ask for forgiveness, God forgets it as soon as you ask for forgiveness.
Amen.
He said he removes the sin as far as the east is from the west. Bro, they ain't never going to touch.
Amen. Amen.
We got to let it go.
And for everyone who's listening, just so I can get it right, it's Philippians 4:6. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Jesus Christ.
Yes, sir.
Wanted to make sure I said that, man. Yeah. So that's awesome. That story about getting God in your life, that's amazing, man. And has your faith changed other people's lives, like as far as your family goes, like growing up in that type of a household?
Yeah, it's been a blessing because my mom, she used to fight it like a champ. So in our family, when I was growing up, we used to verbally never say I love you.
Okay.
We used to never say that. We would show you that we love you, but we wouldn't verbally say it. So when I first moved down here, I had just gave my life to the Lord, and I would call my mom, and, we would have our conversation and dialogue. And at the end of the conversation, I would always say, Mom, I love you. And she would say, mm-hmm. And bro, it took my mom a year to finally say, I love you back.
Wow.
Now, the coolest part, Buddha, is anytime me and her have a conversation that we get off the phone now, you know who says, I love you first? My mama.
That's sweet, bro.
Bro, and it's because you got to be diligent in whatever that thing is. Be diligent. It was one brother, I remember, I love his testimony, man. When he went through the ARC, he went through detox, residential IOP, and he went back home, and his family embraced him. His wife, all the kids except one. And it was his 8-year-old son. And he said it took a year for his 8-year-old son to forgive him for going out there and doing this, that. And I was like, yeah.
Man, yeah.
But that's part of us having to be persistent with our faith. Everything ain't going to happen overnight, man.
That's
if
real.
We understand that. Like, man, you don't have no baby overnight. You have sex one day and then the baby come the next day. No, bro, that's 9 months.
World would be so different, bro.
Woo, it would be crazy. When you plant fruits and veggies, bro, they don't just come up overnight. It's a process. So that's one thing that's beautiful about God's nature is He's let you know everything don't happen overnight. So us with this instant gratification, oh my God,
the Lord works in seasons.
Ooh,
that's how it goes. That's so crazy. No, and I mean, you think about that, hearing that story about the little kid. I mean, it's weird how God works in the sense it was like, man, I messed up and it took this long for my boy to forgive me. I don't ever want him to feel that again.
Bro.
It's like, oh God, how scary, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But dude, that's amazing, man. Thank you so much. And I want to keep pushing through these principles, bro, because I know we don't got all. I wish I could have you here all day, but the second one on the book is the mental aspect of it.
Yeah.
Now, I know with your background working where you work and stuff, but is that something that you struggle with personally too? With dealing with the mental things?
It's if we have to understand this. So the world is on this, currently, and I'm cool with it because that's how they have to explain it. Is we always say there's a storyteller that's playing in your head that's telling you, go kill yourself or go commit suicide or go. It's telling you all kind of stuff. We in the Christian world, we call them demons. Because that's what it is.
Yes, sir.
And then when God says in His Word, you ain't fighting against flesh and blood. You're getting fighting against principalities and rulers of the darkness, spiritual wickedness in high places. So the spiritual world is real. And we got to acknowledge that, because with us working in drugs and alcohol, I'm like, okay, so I want y'all to think about this. What do they call, still to this day, what do they call alcohol?
I don't know.
Spirits.
Oh, wow.
If you go in a grocery store, I guarantee you, wherever they got the whiskey, the wine, the beer, whatever, you're going to see a section that says spirits, because still to this day, alcohol is called spirits. And this is what usually ends up happening. So I used to go to Famous Sam's. That used to be my joint. So Famous Sam's on the outside had this sign. It said fun, food, and spirits. You're going to go in there after a 40-hour work week. You want to have some fun. While you in there having fun, your tail going to get hungry. Yep. So then you're going to get some food.
Pastrami, bro.
Bro. And then you got to rinse it down with something.
Yeah.
Spirits. So what ends up happening? You drink the spirits, they open up the portal to your life, and then the spirits come in. And that's why when anybody gets, what do we call it? People are under the influence of the spirits, bro.
Do you think certain people are more susceptible to it than others? Because some people have different curses and generational curses.
And the thing about it, whatever is your your weakness, because I believe we all, like I say, we got different beings. So certain spirits are coming to attack you in those certain areas that they know that if you try to attack that person in that area, they going down. So back in the day, when you sit back sometime and look at your life, it's amazing that life was showing you stuff, but you weren't paying attention. So, I would love to go to strip club back in the day when I first got here. And the name of the strip club was called Venom.
Okay.
What is Venom? It's going to bite you in your tail and take all your money.
And kill you.
The other strip club was called Tens because they wanted every $10 bill you had so they could take all your money and your tail could be broke.
Yeah.
And while you was in there, you was going to get drunk. Then you was going to get under the influence. And guess what? Here we go. And then you started doing stuff you had no recollection you would do. And I always love telling people, I'll be like, man, you remember what you did last night? They'd be like, no, man, I don't remember. So I'll pull out my cell phone like I'm demonstrating to them. I'm like, this is what you did last night. And they like, I don't remember none of that.
Like the Hangover movie. That's what it reminds me of.
And the reason why you don't remember none of that, because you was under the influence
of
the spirits.
Man, and you think that goes for all substances?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All of them.
Yes, sir. The dope the drug house. Yeah. The drug dealers, everything. Yeah.
No, that's real. Dang, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And then it's absolutely true. I mean, we see it. It's crazy, and it makes perfect sense hearing you say it, bro. Like, you have people, for a perfect example, there was a woman here one time that I remember her speaking to me, and you might even remember, but she said that this was her last chance of her having her babies. Like if she messes up, they're taking her babies away from her.
Yeah.
And I know she was hooked on opiates and stuff, and she was doing good for a while. And then last thing I remember is like in her third week, she was already getting close to graduating. She left with another dude. And like I think about that. I mean, it's crazy, the shame and the guilt that we feel.
Yes, sir.
When we are, when we're using it, the enemy lies to you. It makes you feel like you're not good enough, right? So it's like she's over here probably beating herself up, thinking, I'm such a loser. I've messed up. I'm losing my kids. Yeah. When in reality, she's allowing that influence to continue to keep lying to her in the first place. Because
I think the one challenge I had a long time, I've been in this industry over 6 years now with just the drugs and alcohol part, was, when AA says, like, you're powerless. And I'm like, bro, that's not true. You're not powerless until you take that first drink. Up until that time, you got the power. Because, bro, I'm just using me. So we at a facility, we ain't too far from, I'm trying to think, that's Circle K down here on the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by the time I get in the car, drive against all this traffic, get out of that Circle K, you're going to tell me there's a voice in me like saying, now, you ain't supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
So the voice is telling me not to do it. But guess what? When we want to do what we want to do, we locked in, bro. We locked in. And that's why it's called a mindset. Because once you set that mind on something, it's nothing that it won't accomplish. And notice what I said, what it won't accomplish. Whether positive or negative. It's called a mindset. Once you set it, that mug will accomplish whatever you want it to accomplish.
Man, and it makes perfect sense. I mean, only something purely evil could make you want to spend more time with the substance than your own kids.
Oh.
Especially when love is so powerful. Like, you really think about it. I mean, people who are not in this world, they could look at a person who's lost their kids and think, what a POS or whatever. Like, this person is choosing his drug or his addiction or his whatever it is. Because it's not just drugs. It's sex. You know what I'm saying? It's food, all kinds of stuff. But that's exactly what it is. It's the influence, man. I mean, it's powerful. It's evil.
Bro, it is, man. And then when people don't realize, I mean, and this is just the way I articulate it to the people that I serve, because they understand it when I say this. Alcohol and drug is a pimp. And if alcohol and drug is a pimp, that makes you a...
Oh, yeah.
Ooh-wee. I know you don't want to call yourself that, but when the pimp call, guess what you go do? You leave everybody and you go see your pimp. I mean, you wouldn't normally look at your kids in their face and say, F you, I'm going to go see my pimp.
Yeah.
But it's this little saying that we always say, actions speak louder than words. So when you leave your kids regardless and go see the pimp, you telling your kids, F you, this drug is more important to me than you.
Damn, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy. Something to think about, guys, if you've never thought of it from that perspective before, and I think going into the fundamental, the thumb, right? That's the one finger that we can't live without. We need the thumb. So with the spirituality part of it, man, I feel like that's one of the biggest struggles in this field is the people that are trying to get sober and they refuse to believe in something greater than themselves. Because then it's like, well, what's the use then?
Yeah, bro.
You know, I mean, I hate to break it down like that, but what is keeping you from messing up again when you have no solid foundation?
No solid foundation. Because you think about it, man. And I always tell people, I said, I ain't just a Christian, and your initial belief in Jesus is faith.
Yeah.
But even with that, you still got some basic foundational things to just look around and be like, it's got to be a God, bro.
Yeah.
Because I don't care how much dirt each one of us could carry over to that mountain. We couldn't make that beautiful mountain that we's looking out this window at and looking at. This chair we sitting in, it didn't come together from no poof. Somebody created it.
Yeah.
The building that we're in right now, that's holding us while we're doing this podcast, somebody created it. So look at the order. There has to be a creator to the creation of anything.
Yeah.
So who is the ultimate creator? That's when it goes back to, let's give it up, God. It's all you, bro.
Amen. Yeah. Amen. All right, man. Well, going to number 3, brother. And it's such a blessing, man. Number 3, this has been a part of my life that is very new, but it's something that I really, really, truly, truly love. It's that physical part.
Bro, I've been in love watching you with the transformation, bro.
Thank you.
Because you've taken it extremely serious like you should, man.
Thank you very
I'm real
much,
big
man.
on, I ain't into worship in my body, but bro, I got to walk around in this temple for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It's supposed to last me for the rest of my life. Why wouldn't I take care of it?
Yeah.
I can't get, but anybody that's doing drugs and alcohol, after you come down off that high, boy, that pain, that anguish that you feel, that agony, I'm like, why would you want to intentionally put some poison in your body that is technically destroying you?
Yeah.
Drugs and alcohol to me, it steals.
It's an
kills,
escape.
And it destroys.
Yeah, that's real.
It's gonna it ain't gonna do nothing to make your life better. It's gonna steal from you, steal your identity. It's gonna kill you. It's gonna kill you, and then it's gonna destroy you. It's trying to take you out the box. And God said He came to give you life and life more abundantly. I'm saying, so when we say He came to give us life more abundantly, it ain't just the spiritual life. It's mentally, for you to have the wisdom, discernment, understanding, and knowledge that you're supposed to have, to give you a temple that walks around with no aches and pains. Now, we understand that people walk around, they got chronic pain, and they should be able to try to take the best care of their body that they can. But it does get to a point where the pharmaceutical stuff ain't gonna work no more.
I feel you.
And that's where we got to work on the diet part.
For me, the thing, and thank you for the compliment, man. I give a lot of credit, all credit to God, of course, but I give a lot of credit to ARC for allowing me to get into that position too, But I felt like my biggest thing was overcomplicating. We overcomplicate everything, right? Going into like the mental stuff that we were talking about. People are so quick to want to take a pill to feel better versus doing something active to make them feel better, right? It's the same with the physical stuff too, bro. It's like people are more willing to get a tummy tuck and to get their boobs and all this crap done because they're unhappy with who they are as a person. Right. When in reality, man, if you really want that body, if you really want that, you can have it if you put in the work. And I think that was the biggest change for me. Is like it didn't matter how hard you and I both tried to be in the music industry. It was never guaranteed.
It was guaranteed, right?
But if you want to be healthy and you want a 6-pack, that's all you.
Yes, it is.
You can get. I don't care what your genetics are. You can do it.
Do it.
You just got to put your mind to it,
yes,
right?
Sir.
So like I think about that. And going back to the addictions part of it, sugar and flour, bro, was a huge addiction for me, dog.
Bro.
I was telling my wife when I was working at Fry's, I would get off. This is before I worked at the hospital. I would get off at like 9 a.m, an overnight shift, go to McDonald's, dog, get 2 number 1 meals. And then like 3 double cheeseburgers on the side, bro. And I would eat all of that right before I went to bed.
With the bed. I knew you was going to say that.
Dude, and so my sleep pattern was completely off already because I was going to bed at 9 in the morning. And it's just, like, dude, it's so ugly, bro. Like, food could take you out the game. And it's something that we have to eat.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Even if you fast, it's perfectly healthy for you, but you still have to eat or you're going to die.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the physical part, was this something that you've always done your whole life?
Yeah. I think because growing up in my hometown, I used to always see people that would retire from General Motors, and within like 5 years they would die.
Damn.
Because they were so consumed with General Motors, but they wouldn't take care of their body. People was love going to work making that good money. It was great money. but they didn't think about the whole aspect of life. So they wouldn't take care of their body. So they would
That's
just,
in Michigan too.
Yeah, bro.
So I mean, you guys. I'm guessing you guys have a lot of pollutants in Michigan too.
Right. And then from Flint, Michigan, people know about the water crisis that we had.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, you got to be intentional. Because a friend of mine, he just came back from Flint. He lives in Cali. He was like, bro, my ankles were swelling up. He said, man, my health was jacked up just the week I was there because he was eating all the stuff that we grew up on, you know.
Man.
And when you used to eat good, bro, it's crazy, man. We don't understand how intricate this beautiful machine we live in is, bro. So you got to understand, like, man, if we eat what God made, just that. I always tell people, don't even worry about no diet plan. Eat what God made. Did God make that? Eat it.
Yep.
Yeah, the bananas, eat that.
Mm-hmm.
Apples, eat that. Fish, eat that. Turkeys, eat that. Twinkies?
Nope.
No, he didn't make that.
Are you sure, bro?
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, but it's just like, but look at all the foods.
And that's what I'm saying about it's simple, bro. Going back, it really is. We overcomplicate it. God created animals. He created plants. He created, natural things. And it's like, and you look at a grocery store aisle, they say the perimeter. You shop the perimeter of the store. That's where all the healthy fats and carbs and protein is. You go in the middle aisles, bro. And how many of us, especially struggling with kids, because we're not financially set up, especially in our younger age, are, with WIC or EBT and the stuff that we're buying, we're poisoning our kids, bro.
Yes,
and most of us aren't even aware of it, John.
I know. You're right, bro. And that's why it's such a blessing that at any chance we get a chance to talk about it to people. We should, because not feeling embarrassed or not being like, man, I ain't gonna be receptive to what I gotta say. But I still gotta give the information. I'm like, bro, I'm 55 years old, going on 56 in July. And bro, I have no aches and no pains.
Good for you.
And I made a vow to myself at 18 that I would work out for the rest of my life. And I'm like, bro, that's 37 years straight. And I'll tell you, with no shame, that's one of the, besides giving my life to Jesus, one of the greatest decisions I made was moving to Tucson. One of the greatest decisions I made was to work out for the rest of my life. Because I always tell people, I said, this is the part that's so beautiful for me, man. I mean, just so beautiful. I'm like, bruh, in 37 years of working out, because I used to love going to the gym, and then, COVID hit, so we didn't get a chance to go to the gym. In 37 years of working out, Buddha, I ain't never walked away from the gym one time and said, damn, I wasted an hour of my time working out. 37 years, bro.
I believe it.
I ain't never said one day, but that was a jacked up workout. Man, I shouldn't have worked out.
I can't believe I got these pecs all swole right now. But like, have you ever, so 37 years of doing this.
Yes, sir.
Have you had moments or periods of time where you either dealt with you just didn't work out for a little bit and had to jump right back on track?
Let me tell you what threw me off. So my left bicep, and I always use this when I go to schools and have kids looking at me at 55. So I always flex my left arm, because what happened, I tore my left bicep.
My dad has the same thing.
Yeah.
Bro.
So it looks like it's pudged up. You're like, man, that brother is in shape for 55. Yeah, but I tore my bicep, and what happened was I didn't know. I thought it was just going. I popped it, but I thought it was just going heal itself and do it all that. Bro, I had to have surgery. So the doctor told me, he said, you could take a year off from working out, and it probably is going to drop back down on its own, or you can have surgery the next week. I said, bro, you can put me in surgery next week, because, bro, I ain't stopping to work out.
Wow.
I got to work out. So for about 4 months on that arm, I couldn't work out. But guess what? I still got the rest of my body. So I still worked out, but I couldn't work out my arm because I had a cast on it after I had the surgery.
Man.
But bro, I tell you in a heartbeat, man, that's one of the greatest investments you can ever make, is taking care of your body.
So never weeks of just like
never weeks.
Never. Wow.
Bro. I'm like, dude, I'm talking about even now at my older age, I work out I only work out twice a week, and that's usually Thursdays and Saturdays, because I work Sunday through Wednesday. Okay. But I stretch every day. As you get older, one of the most phenomenal things you can do is stretch. I would tell people in a minute, man, please do about a 15 to 30 minute stretch every day. Because to be able to be super flexible and being able to do what I can still do at 55, I'm super grateful. But it has to be with the stretching added into it, though.
Wow, okay.
And I'm a supplement freak, too.
Supplement freak?
When you find out that you deficient, I tell every man on here, and I'm preaching to every man right now, get at least one physical every year. I mean, you're only supposed to get physical once a year, but go get a physical every year. Go get a physical. Know where your sugar levels is at. Know where your cholesterol is at. Knowing where, because men's magnesium levels as you get older, you need a little bit more magnesium. So, bro, there's certain things that as men, please, I would be on my knees begging if this couch went in the way. But I would tell you, I would beg every man, please go get a physical every year. Ladies, you too, but my brothers, I'm preaching to you specifically.
Okay.
Go get a physical once a year and see where your numbers is at, and then. I would say look online and see what naturally you can do, because you know they always want to put you on pharmaceuticals.
Oh yeah, no,
and it's always like 10 or 12 side effects to that. But it's this, and I'm just throwing this out there because one of the brothers I just got to do a podcast with, his name is Hernan, and he's down there on Fridays at this. They have a market, kind of like a little market on Fridays, and this dude specializes in mushrooms. And not
I heard that podcast.
Not the hallucinogenic mushrooms, people, but this brother. It's this one
lion's mane, right?
Yeah, so lion's mane is good, and he has this other one called Seven Guardians. This is his concoction.
Okay.
And bro, I wasn't even trying to do this because I didn't even know what it did. I just started taking it. I'm gonna be honest with you, because usually I'll buy something, I'll find out what it's for. But my wife is taking it. She said, "Babe, you want to start taking this stuff with me?" I said, "Yeah." I didn't ask her nothing about it. My blood pressure went from high 140s over 90s to under 120 over 80. And I don't do nothing different but take this mushroom supplement, and it lowered my blood pressure.
And what was your blood pressure before?
High 140s over 90s.
That's strange to me that it was even high.
Oh, my mom has high blood pressure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mom has high. My mom, she's been having it since she was in her 70s. She has 200s over 100s.
Oh man, poor thing. Bro. That's rough.
Yeah. And so when you know it's genetic like that, you're supposed to work on your stuff.
Yeah, I remember on his podcast, he said, I have to go back and hear it, but he had said that there was a mushroom in particular here. And keep in mind for all the listeners, we're not talking about the hallucinogenic, psilocybin mushrooms. That there's a mushroom here on Mount Lemon that we are like the most prevalent part in the world that has it.
Yes,
and that it was like a mushroom that I think it might have been, I don't know if it was lion's mane, but he said that he actually gave it to his dad because his dad was struggling with a lot of things like that. So that's very interesting, man. And I wish I'm gonna have to hit up homeboy too.
Yeah, I'll give you his card when we leave, because I would love for you to have him come on the podcast, bro. Because I'm telling this dude he is so phenomenal when it comes to natural health and the mushroom stuff. He's got it down pat, man.
That's awesome.
Down pat, bro.
I mean, so many people. Imagine the type of lives you can save. And once again, look at it. It's not a pharmaceutical. It's not being shoved down your throat. Like, well, it is, but you're doing it yourself. You can get it naturally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
That's cool, bro. That's really cool. Okay, so we talked about, God, number one. We talked about the mental aspect, the physical. What about those relationships, dog?
Ooh, brother. The reason why our country is in the predicament that it's in is because of relationships. And if you want to go specific, my brothers.
Yeah.
If you get my man right, my country would turn over like that. Yeah. And the thing about it, if I got to get my men back to believe in the men that they supposed to be. Because if you understand as a man, you're a king. Okay. If you married, guess what your wife is?
Queen.
She's a queen. Guess what your kids and kids are? They prince and princesses. Mm-hmm. So, bro, you live in royalty. So everybody is to be treated like royalty. Everybody. And when they hit your household, when they go through the frame of that door right there, this is the kingdom. And if this is the kingdom, that means my queen, guess what? Because I love me, I want to love my queen like I love myself. Mm-hmm. And then in the process of that, I want to teach my kids how to fall in love with themselves at an early age. So when they get older, they ain't running into all the issues that the people that are in our country are running into, because the dad was there to be the man that he needed to be, to show his sons how to be loved. I mean, show his sons how it is to be a man. Amen. And to show his daughters how to be loved by a man.
A thought that I had recently, and I just want to say this, I was talking to a gentleman, and he was kind of giving the excuse of like, how can you teach your son to be a real man when you were never raised with a man that taught you that? But you have to remember, and this is one thing that I tell the kids all the time. It's like, babies, mommy and daddy are here to help you guys.
Yes.
But for you, you're getting comfortable with understanding that you have to look for help through your parents. When you get older, you're on your own, and your parent is up above. You gotta reach out to God, and you gotta talk to Him. Amen, because that's exactly what it is.
Yes,
sir. And that's what it made me think about when I heard you say that. No, relationships are super, super important. And I know you're a married man. How long have you been married,
Bro, 13 years this
13
year, man.
years,
Said my
shout out.
habanero sugar. Diana,
Shout out. I was hoping you were going to say
Diana Costa Bacon. That's my
Shout out
baby.
to Diana. I hope you're doing good, man.
Yeah, that's my baby.
That's awesome, brother. Yeah, man. I mean, relationships are super important. The family that we keep close. How do you feel as far as like, people that are family members, especially working in this field? Sometimes it's those people that are closest to us that are causing the most chaos in our life, right? I'll give you a perfect example. I remember being in the phone room. Remember the old school phone room?
Yes, sir.
There was a girl here. She's just talking on the phone. We gave her that permitted time to talk to her man on the phone, and you can hear it sounded like remember Charlie Brown in the background, right? And she ended up getting off and the phone and she discharged, and her reasoning was because her husband was upset because there was other men in the background. Right, so how do you deal with those type of things, like cutting out those relationships?
You're gonna make me tell a testimony, bro. Right here in this room right now, you looking at a leather bracelet. So this leather bracelet was made here at the Arc by one of the clients.
Okay.
Now, this brother, when I seen this bracelet, I was like, bro, that bracelet is dope, man. You hooked that thing up. It's lovely. And the next day, man, his girl called and said, if you don't come home, I'm sleeping with your best friend.
For reals?
Bro, man, I ain't lying. That dude packed up everything, bro. And I'm still trying to talk to him the whole time. I'm talking about to the time I got to the door where she was at. I said, bro, please don't leave, man. Don't leave. So every time I had wear this bracelet, every day, I pray for this brother. I'm praying he's still alive. I wish I could remember his name. But, bro, his girl said, if you don't come home, I'm sleeping with your best friend. And I was like, but it goes back to, what did God say? See, that's the part that's crazy.
Yeah.
What did God say? Love others as you love yourself. We are our number one person we supposed to fall in love with. Yeah, we get God praise and glory. Yeah, and we supposed to love him. But man, you supposed to love other people as you love yourself. You love God first, love yourself second. Then everybody else can get loved.
That's real.
But when we don't love ourselves, we do drugs and alcohol. When we don't love ourselves, we get in toxic relationships. When we don't love ourselves, we eat, get overweight, high blood pressure, cholesterol. When we don't love ourselves, we don't take care of our mental capacity. That's where we get the depression, anxiety. When we don't love ourselves, we don't know our purpose. Bro, loving yourself is pivotal. Now watch this, Buddha, because this is the part that's crazy. Because if you listening to this, you're going to be like, that sounds selfish as hell. Let me help you out. I hustle and make money for me. No ifs, ands, or buts. No hidden agenda, bro. I hustle and make money for me. You know who I'm going to spend that money on? My wife and my kids. Mm-hmm. I'm going to hang around positive people that build me up, that encourage me. And I have three types of people that hang out with me. Either I can pour into you, younger brothers, usually, but I pour into everybody. I usually pour into people that, guess what, we peers. Mm-hmm. We trying to make each other the best that we can be. And then I have people that's older than me that pour into me. If you don't fit in one of those three categories, you can't be with me.
Okay.
Now, this is the part that's crazy. I hang around those positive people that's encouraging, that's build me up, that make me feel good, and I do it for me, Buddha. You know who those people gonna hang around? My wife and my kids.
Yep.
I'm gonna take care of my body. I have no problem. I love walking around in a healthy body. I take care of this body for me because I got to walk around it. You know who I'm gonna take care of with this body? I'm taking care of
my wife and
my kid. Oh, I'm gonna read good books. I'm gonna look at my positive motivational videos, man. Because I got to keep myself hyped up, encouraged. I keep my mind pure, strong, ready to go. And I usually teach my kids and my wife what I learned when I was looking at the motivational videos and reading them books. I'm going to spend my time with Jesus, no hidden agenda. I hang out with Jesus for me because it feeds my spirit and my soul. You know who he going to tell me to hang out with? My wife and my kids. Buddha, I did all that stuff for me. And it benefits everybody that I love.
Man. That's beautiful.
Bro, that's why when he said love others as you love yourself, he said, baby boy, no hidden agenda. I want you to love on you. Mm-hmm. See, there's a difference between being selfish and selfless. See, there's a difference between being selfishness and self-love.
Would you say it's a fine line?
The selfishness is when it's just all about me.
Eating your own apples.
Yeah, brother. You consuming them joints. But when it goes back, but when it goes back to, guess what? Let me take care of me so I can take care of the people that I love. Because we talking about in the field that we work in. Mm-hmm. you could throw a temper tantrum and tell me all day long. I mean, you really mean it. You tears is flowing down, snot running down your nose. You like, I love my kids more than I love myself. And I'd be like, you lying. Why is that? Because you ain't taking care of you. Guess where you at? You here with me. And you can't take care of your kids if you here with me because you don't love you and take care of you. You can't be with your babies.
Oh, man. That's so real,
bro.
That's so real, man. Oh, that's the truth. No, it's absolutely true. And what advice would you give somebody that was in that situation? You know, I know you said to love yourself first, but how do you go about doing that, bro? If you've never had that before,
let God love you.
Let God love you.
Let Him love you. For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. All you got to do is read His word, and then you hear when He says, you fearfully and wonderfully made. You made in my image and in my likeness. When Jesus got baptized and He said, this is my Son, who I am well pleased. You know, up until that time, Jesus had not done one miracle.
Wow.
And you know what all of us as men need to hear from our daddies? This is my Son. You claiming me.
Mm-hmm.
Whom I am well pleased. Son, you ain't got to do nothing to earn my love. You get it automatically. You go to any prison and ask the men at the prison, did they hear any of that? I love you, I'm proud of you, and you mine.
Man.
90% of dudes that's in prison right now, they never heard that.
That's so sad, and it's so true, bro. So true.
Buddha, how much money did that cost me to do that? How high does my GPA have to be to do that?
None.
See what
the best things in life are free. I mean, once again, overcomplicating everything. People are too worried about the world and everything in it and the most important things in your life. Oh my God. I needed this so bad today, John. I needed this, dog. It's like, it really is, man, because we had, I don't know if you remember, he was an ex-client. We had an episode with him. It drops next week, but his name was Thomas, right? Thomas O'Berry. And when he came initially, bro, it was one of those dudes that got sent out. We were like so worried about him, right?
Yeah.
He came through. He's doing fantastic,
good,
right?
Man,
but he said that his dad told him, and I don't want to butcher this, but he said, you know, you can't enjoy the nature of like being in the forest when you're looking at all of the mess ups on the trees.
Yeah,
much, bro.
Yeah, bro.
And that's what it made me think about. It's like so many of us are so worried about the blemishes on the trees that we are not even focused on the fact that we are in this moment right now. Bro, it's real. And then you go back to, you know, we're not even on the fifth finger yet. We're on number 4, but it all goes back to the thumb, bro, the spiritual.
Spiritual. Buddha, when God said iron sharpens iron, bro, me and you getting stoked in this room on this podcast.
Yeah.
Talking.
Mm-hmm.
That's what ought to happen. Anytime we come in conversation with somebody, me and you, as soon as this podcast is over and we walk away from each other, brother, we better men than we were before we came together.
Man, that's amazing.
That's amazing to me, bro.
It's so cool, bro. Just to having you here right now, dog. This is awesome. I'm so excited for it. All right, man. And you know, iron sharpens iron, brother. It's a huge blessing. The last one, and I wanted to keep it the last one because this is the one I have the biggest struggle with in my life, bro. This is the financial one, dog. It's like, yeah. I like buying stuff, bro. I like doing stuff. Hey,
we like the bling bling, bro. New barbecue pit, the new house, the new car. We built that way. We just love new.
Yeah.
But then I always have to tell myself, because I always when I teach this in the class, I'll be like, man, you know, right now they got a 2023 right now, GLC 300.
I just got
over on Mercedes.
No,
it's right down the street from here. Bro, that car calling my name. Now, do I need that? No, I don't. But Lord knows I would love to have it.
Yeah.
My 2014 Toyota RAV4, that baby is running just as smooth as silk.
That's good.
Just smooth as silk. I want the Mercedes. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. And if you gave it to me, I'm taking that money. but when I get to the point where I could differentiate between what I want and what I need, that makes the world a difference right there. There's a lot of stuff that we think we want. We really don't want it. Because if we had to put forth the work to get it, and then secondly, what we got to really worry about, Buddha, is spending tomorrow's money today. Because tomorrow's not promised. Mm-hmm. So why am I taking money from tomorrow, bringing it into today, and now I got to pay for that future money that I took from the future and brought it here, and I got to pay interest on that money.
Yeah.
Because I took it from where it wasn't supposed to be taken from. And that's where we get messed up. I'm going to tell you. And money is the least significant important thing in our lives. No, but notice what I said. It's the least significant important thing. It's still important.
Yeah.
But it's the least significant because if I ain't got my wife and my kids, man, that money ain't going to mean nothing.
Yep.
If I ain't got my health, bro, that money ain't gonna mean nothing. If my mind ain't right, that money ain't gonna mean nothing. Especially if I ain't got my relationship with Jesus right, that money ain't gonna mean nothing. See, I still need the money, but when it's all said and done, money couldn't buy the marriage that I have. It couldn't buy the experiences that I had with my kids. It can buy me health to a degree. It can buy me some vitamins and nutrients, and I still got to do the working out and doing all that.
Yeah.
Bro, mentally, if I don't keep my mind sharp, man, I'm going to be consumed by finance. And I'm just like everybody else, bro. Like I said, I love new stuff. But when I understand that, man, in the bigger picture things, do I really need this thing that I'm going to go buy right now? If within 24 hours, I can say I still need it, I'll go get it. Okay. But most of the time, I'll take 24 hours and be like, let me pray on it. Let me see if I don't really need that, bro. But I sure would love it, but I don't need it. But yes, money, it consumes us, bro. It will, if you're not careful. And I love that what God says. There's nothing wrong with money. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil. So that's what make people, guess what? Sell drugs, go pimp out people, go gamble, all that. Just to get this money. So it ain't even the money itself. It's the love of it that is the root of all evil. So money itself is just a tool. If we truly understand that money is a tool. So if it's a tool, if I'm having a bad day, a hammer is going to be a hammer. On a good day, a hammer is going to be a hammer. But we'll do this. If we got a lot of money, we feel good. If we ain't got no money, we feel bad. And I'm like, dog, your value is not predicated upon no money. And when we understand that, brother, like being debt free, oh my God, Buddha.
That's good.
One of the greatest feelings in the world, bro. One of the greatest feelings in the world is to be debt free. Now, I just got myself back into debt because I bought a beautiful RV. But
hey, that's good. Congrats. That's a blessing, bro.
Yeah, because what the RV does, guess what? Remember I told you we need to get away from everybody and everything?
Yeah.
Go up to the mountains, man. Me and my wife, no internet service. All we do is be together.
That's good.
Brings our marriage closer together. We come right back down the mountain. Boom. I can serve people then.
Are you one of those cats that like you use credit cards strategically, like to build up your credit scores and all those types?
Yeah, I
did
do that. Yes,
yeah, you did.
Yeah, I'm
cool.
super grateful. I can say right as of this moment, my credit score probably is like at a 777.
That's great.
My wife's is in the 800s, and that's because we really think strategically. Like when we make financial decisions, we make them together.
Yep.
That's a good part.
Relationships, it all ties in together, bro. The hand, man.
Bro, because what happens if the one of the spouses is a spender, one of the spouses is a saver, you're gonna have a good relationship if y'all talk.
Yep.
But if you don't, boy, that spender is gonna get on the saver's nerves.
Oh yeah.
The saver's gonna get on the spender's nerves because they just want to just hoard the money just to hold it. And I'm like, if your money ain't making money for you, bro, it's a waste. As we can see in this day and time now, you can't put your money in the bank and it's going to make you a little bit of interest on it no more. Almost to keep your money in the bank, it's going to cost you to keep it in the bank. And now this is why it's so important now to have little investments here, little investments there. That's bringing you some money in. I like to be sleeping, making money.
Yeah.
Passive income is a beautiful thing, bro. It really is. Because I wrote that book 7 years ago and I got a book signing on June the 7th. Bro, remember I wrote the book 7 years ago.
Yeah.
It's still bringing me money in. How much effort do I have to put in? Basically nothing because I wrote the book 7 years ago.
Yeah.
All I got to do is sell it now.
That's
that's
cool.
The kind of money you want to make. People go online and buy the book. I didn't even know they bought the book until I see the check of, oh, wow, I got a little money coming in from somebody buying the book that I wrote 7 years ago that's still cool. Producing income. That's how we want to live life. It's where we have that kind of money coming in and we ain't got to put no effort into it.
And, we could talk about the principles of finances and savings and doing things like that. But my question for you is like, and I don't know if this is the same for you, but looking at the fingers, right? Yes, all 5 fingers, those principles.
Yes, sir.
I feel like once my relationship with the thumb, with the spirituality, with God got good, he helped open up the rest of that hand. Is that something? Is that the same thing for you, bro? Like, did you know about finances? Were these things that God had taught you?
This is the part that's crazy because we only use, unfortunately, not everybody, but I would say 90% of Christians use the Bible for spiritual. And I'm like, do you understand all of the answers to life is in that book?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you want to have a phenomenal business? Look at all the business principles in the Bible. You want to have a phenomenal relationship? Look at all the relationship. I'm like, dude, I can read one book for the rest of my life and ain't got to read another book. And I could be successful in every area of why I wrote the book because every area that I wrote the book on is from scriptures.
Wow.
And I was like, God, if people only knew that your whole life could be, when he said, I came to give you life and life more abundantly, bro, he wasn't talking about just the spiritual life. God says, I give you power to get wealth. Okay, so God ain't just going to rain down the money from heaven, but he gives me the power to make money, which means he's going to give me the resources. He's going to give me discernment on which businesses to invest in, what companies to grow, what companies to start, so I can have a successful life where I'm not stressing about money.
Yeah.
He going to bless you. He says and it says, he who finds a wife finds a good
treasure.
Thing. Wait. Because if I'm just, because we can just read something.
Yeah.
He said, he who finds a wife, that means she was already wifey material before I married her. She was basically a wife. I just acquired her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she was already a wife before I met her. See, she didn't have to become a wife. She was already a wife. And all I had to do was, I'm like, man. So God says, you got the Holy Spirit operating and living in your temple. So I got God living inside of me. God ain't going to tell me, now, you want to eat 4 cheeseburgers, 3 fries. He going to be like, baby, now just eat just enough. As soon as you get full, stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ain't got to do all that overeat and overindulge. This is the part that's crazy because we'll go to some nice restaurants, bro, and they'll have the plate be nice.
Yeah.
And I'll be sufficient at a half a plate. And God be like, all right, you go ahead and put that in the to-go box. You ain't got to eat all of it right now, bro. But we feel like, man, shoot, I done spent all my money on this meal. I'm gonna get my money's worth, because if we go to a buffet,
yeah,
I'm gonna get my money's worth. Here we go.
Yep.
That's funny because you know how we are. We buy that alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
You know good and well you ain't supposed to be drinking that alcohol. Like you took the first sip. Guess what? And then God still allows you to say, "Now, baby, you ain't supposed to be doing this right." And we acknowledge it. But we say to ourselves, man, I just spent $49.95 on this vodka, right? I mean, this whiskey. Yeah. I ain't finna pour that out, bro. You don't realize that when you pour out that $49.95, you just save yourself $5,000 because you ain't got to go into the rehab. You ain't got to go. But at that moment, we looking at the right now instead of thinking about the bigger picture of what if I pour this alcohol out and not drink it and consume it and then do something stupid and make some bad mistakes and then I got to pay for a lawyer to get me out of jail. I got to pay for a lawyer to go to court. I got to deal with this police officer, this judge.
My God!
Because of that $49.95 that I wasn't willing to pour out.
Yeah.
If I'd have poured it out, it would have saved me so many thousands of dollars down the line.
Man, that's so crazy.
But once again, that's a money issue because if I've mismanaged my money, guess what? I always tell people because we go back to the 5 fingers. If my money is funny, that makes me feel bad because I don't love myself. That triggers me to want to go use. My relationships I'm in, they toxic. The reason why I got in these relationships because I'm codependent and I don't love myself enough to be able to be by myself. So I got to get in a relationship with somebody to feel good. That toxic relationship is going to want to cause me to go use. I ain't been taking care of my body, so my body is starting to break down way faster than it's supposed to. And it's starting to break down, so the pain is coming in. So the pain is coming in. I got to take these prescription drugs, and then I'm end up getting hooked on these prescription drugs, and then I got to rinse it down with some alcohol. So the pain that I'm feeling is going to cause me to want to go use.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm dealing with
or the debilitation of not being able to get up.
Get up.
Dude, the Walmart people. That's my biggest fear. I don't ever want to be a Walmart person, bro, in that cart. Oh, my God. It's so scary, dog.
Bruh, mentally. I got anxiety, bitterness, worry, strife. So I'm going to numb it with some alcohol and drugs.
Yeah.
I don't know my purpose on this planet. So in order to cover that up and numb it, I'm going to go. So I was like, so guys, that more than likely, those 5 areas, and I always throw another one on there. There's somebody that you love that you didn't grieve. And because you didn't grieve, in order to numb the pain of that grief that person left when they left you, and they ain't leave you, guess what? They transitioned on over to where God wanted them to be at. Mm-hmm. We are numb the pain. And this is the part that's crazy to me, Buddha, when I finally got this. People don't realize that a lot of times that the things that you numb in your pain is the thing that's also numbing you from getting the very thing that you say you want.
Say it again. Say it slow so people like me can understand.
That's all right, brother. So when we numb ourselves from the pain of wherever this thing is, we're numbing ourselves from the very thing that we want. So watch this. So I'm numbing myself from the pain of mismanaging my money. When I numb myself to that, I'm numbing myself also to getting the very principles that I need so I can manage my money better.
Wow.
When I numb myself because I'm having a lot of pain in this toxic relationship I'm in, I'm numbing myself to the opportunity of love coming my way because I'm numb to this pain in this toxic relationship. Physically, man, I'm trying to get my health right. I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what I want to do, but I'm in this chronic pain. So I'm going to numb the pain. And it's also numbing me from being able to take care of myself, to work out, eat right, go get the proper rest that I need so I can have a healthy body. So we don't realize the things that we numbing ourselves from is also, it makes us numbing ourselves from the very thing that we really want.
Wow. That's incredible, man.
Bro.
That's so deep. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
Bro, it's crazy.
Man, and are you writing anything else right now?
My desire is to write part 2 of The Balanced Life, because there's some more areas because I didn't get a chance to talk about kids in the first book. I didn't talk about actual like budgeting for the financial piece. Physically, I would love to talk about, have like my boy Hanan come in and talk about like mushrooms and stuff like that people can use. That's all natural stuff that you can take better care of your body. And then I would love to talk about the anxiety and depression aspect. And then it's always dynamics. You talk about God that you can always add in. Man, it's just part 2 of it.
And it's amazing that they all come together, bro. That's so cool, bro. Thank you so much. And another thing too, before we even finish up the episode, been listening to the Bacon Bits podcast, bro.
Bro, yeah.
Man, and you know what? And it's very special to me because it's like, the day that you left ARC, God's plan was different. You had to go do something.
Yes, sir.
I was sad because it was like a light being turned off, at least for me, because I'm used to seeing you all the time, but this is a very special way for me to continue to keep hearing that voice, bro. Whenever I'm feeling anxious, it's like, yeah, brother, I can always hear your voice and it just keeps me calm. You know what I mean? I get to still get to hear your voice, man, and still be kicked that wisdom and everything, man. So how long you been doing that now?
Man, it'll be a year coming up. And
congrats.
I'm super grateful because before podcast started, I didn't know what the hell a podcast was, bro.
Really?
I didn't. It was hilarious. So a friend of mine was like, bro, as much as you love dropping wisdom, man, you ought to have a podcast. I was like, man, I kept telling myself, what would I have a podcast on? I'm like, John, you know what's the only thing you like talking about? The balanced life. That when I say, Buddha, that drives me crazy, bro. I'm talking about crazy in a good way. I think about it all the time, like all the time. I'll be like, man, if something don't run through those 5 areas that can be productive for me, bro, that's the base of my whole life. Like if it ain't whatever this decision I'm about to make. So let's talk about whatever decision I'm about to make. Is this decision going to draw me closer to God? Is this decision going to help me, get a little bit more wisdom and knowledge, discernment, and understanding in my life? Is this decision I'm about to make going to make me healthier? Is this decision I'm about to make going to draw my relationships closer to the people that I love? Is this relationship going to bring me a little change? Or is it going to cost me? Every decision has to come through those 5 areas.
Wow.
Every decision, bro.
That's awesome.
So it consumes me, man. Yeah, so I was super happy when the opportunity came up to do the podcast. And it's always, after people leave, the facilities that we in, they always be like, okay, where can I catch you so I can get some more of this wisdom? I'm like, okay, I ain't teaching nowhere no more. Okay, hey, just pull out a card. Go listen to the podcast.
That's cool.
Some of the episodes of what we used to learn while you was in the rehab, you going to get them on the podcast.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, man, for anyone who's listening, I highly suggest, please subscribe, rate his podcast, check it out. It's amazing. We're going to make sure that we leave all the links to your book on Amazon so everyone can go pick that up. And we're also going to be leaving links to the podcast. So wherever platform you're on, Spotify, whatever, you guys can go check it out. So John, thank you so much for coming by, brother.
That's it, man. You got me smiling from ear to ear. I just love being around my brother, man. You didn't just. This is the cool part, Buddha. But to see you have the growth you have had, man, since when you knew each other at St. Mary's, man, it's been beautiful, bro. The love that you have for your queen, your relationship with your kids, bro. What you're doing here with the podcast, and you always wanted to be uplifting and be encouraging, bro. And you still doing that, man, after all these years. And you still have a strong desire to grow, and that's a blessing, bro.
Bro, I love it, man, and I'm so grateful because it's like, we're talking about the filling other people up. Yeah. I feel like whenever you and I come together, it's like we both just filling each other up, bro. I love it.
Yeah.
It's rare when you run into people like that. You know what I mean? And I can't wait. I'm already thinking as we're talking, like my father-in-law, my wife, I got some homies, my brother-in-law. Like I want to get everyone to listen to this episode, man. So I love it. Thank you for blessing it.
Appreciate you calling me over here, bro. This has been a huge blessing.
Absolutely. To all the listeners out there, please get up off your seat. One more time, give it up for my brother John. Woo! Woo! I feel good. I'm lit up. They say we're two or more gathered.
That's it, brother.
And we're here right now. For everybody listening, I hope you guys got something special out of this. You know, wherever you're at, I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your week. Much love. God bless you all, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Oh my God, John, that was fantastic, dude. What's going on, everybody? This is Buddha from the ARCast, and I just wanted to thank you for checking out this week's episode. It means a lot, and if you could share it with a friend or a loved one, somebody in need in recovery, or maybe somebody who just needs that little bit of extra positivity in their life, we'd greatly appreciate it. If you would like to join us here on the ARCast, either in the studio live or online, hit us up. The links are down in the show notes of this episode, and on there, you can find direct links to our main website here at Americas Rehab Campus and all of our social media platforms. Follow us. We keep the posts positive and motivational, focused on recovery, health, and wellness. As you know, in this modern day and age, we need as much love as possible, y'all. And as always, if you or somebody you know is in need of substance abuse treatment, please don't hesitate to give us a call. We're open 24 hours a day, and our direct phone number is 1-833-272-7342. Once again, that phone number is 1-833-272-7342. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. Much love and God bless. Peace.